No, I know.
Sure makes the training program easy.
So it's been, that's really.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess if anybody has anything for Benji that they'd like to see, he and I will work on potentially putting together better, information reports and stuff like that. I know right now you guys just get the iWork report, but we'll be working on something in the coming months to try to lay things out better, because that iWork is just a page after page of stuff. And you may have noticed it's pretty long, this meeting. We have been trying to, and with Benji at the helm here, have been putting in all kinds of stuff that we may not be addressing immediately, but loading that up with all the different items that we may have to do at some point, or planning it out. Obviously you guys can talk to Benji directly, or you can communicate through me if you had any questions or issues or anything you want to address with him. But I'll just say I'm excited, pumped to have him, and looking forward to going forward here. So, does anybody have anything for now? Or?
The only thing I wanted to mention before we cut him loose is that item 11G on the regular agenda is the monthly brush pickup. And if anybody had any questions for Benji about that, the background being was a suggestion during our closure of the brush pile, and this is it takes such a little amount of time even during spring and fall citywide cleanup that it's one of those where instead of having people complain they have no place to take their brush, if we just pick it up and it's a very minimal, right Benji, it's a couple hours.
I guess my question would be, is there like a day of the week or the day of the month that you guys seem less busy that would work to do that?
We decided on the first Monday of the month.
First Monday of the month, okay. And then usually during the summer, you don't really trim trees much, so I don't know how much brush there will be.
Yeah, and we were also thinking it doesn't necessarily have to be all year. I mean, during the winter months.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think they do it, and I guess we can hammer out the details on when we want to start and end as far as that goes, but first Monday of the month is the plan.
Be like a May to November.
Yeah, something like that.
So.
I want to thank you for watering the plants.
Oh, yeah. The mulch is there also, by the way.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Right.
so we can ask
So-
like you guys to come and deliver it to certain spots?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Right
Okay.
now, we've got down, so we'll get that back. And then I have one time frame on that yet. Kind of back.
Okay, and you wouldn't use the loader, you would use the tool cat to bring it?
Yeah, they're not overloaded yet. Well, loader, you can get very.
Okay, so if you want to let me know or let Michael know, and he can let me know when it's back up, so then we can
Yep.
schedule to,
You want to do the garden up here?
we want to do the garden, we need to do the welcome to Biwabik sign. I think Christopher needs, and around the gazebo, we need to do it. Christopher needs mulch too.
Yep, we talked to him already today about that stuff, so we was
Okay.
starting to, he was gonna do the majority of it, 5-gallon buckets, just so we
Oh,
could, where he wants it to be, but got a bigger spot. And then we just-
I will say, let's communicate on where we're going to put mulch down, because there might be some spots that are going to be filled with concrete. Like right in front of Luke's Tavern and the old Amber Flow there.
Mhm.
There's that one, then there's a big long section by the post office. Everything's dead there. It's not official yet, but I'm fairly certain that there's been some funding secured through the state to get those areas fixed. So I'd hate to see you guys do all the work,
Yeah.
do everything and put down nice new mulch, and then, next thing you know, we're calling it for a bid to pour mud in there, so.
Yeah, we are only working on like the city areas, not anything that the state did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right. Anything else for Benji? All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity. We'll see you guys later.
So we will jump to administrator and staff updates.
Yeah, I'll run through this quick. I'm going to highlight a few of these. Hopefully you guys get an opportunity to look through the administrator report. So item 1 there, yep, we just congratulate Benji. The other item is Adam. The personnel committee determined to release Adam from his new hire probationary status, which used to be 6 months, was switched to a year, and we felt that he could be released after 6 months. Summer workers again started. Benji already mentioned that. They are going to be trained on riding lawnmower safety and then sign off on it. That's what's required by the state in order to get them on riding lawnmowers. The website there may be information between now and the next council meeting. We have the kickoff scheduled. I don't know what that exactly looks like or what that process is, so just a heads up. Beginning of July, we'll be getting new access points. Again, we've had lots of trouble with these, and I think I had to run the one from downstairs, upstairs 2-3 times this last week. So that will be happening, and they'll also take care of our tenants in the building as well. Jump by a couple. Fire department has been participating in regional fires that we're going to be reimbursed for. Jumping to, I guess, the restorative justice on the next page there, item 13. Been a lot of back and forth with them. I don't know if it's just, I don't know what the coordination or what may be, but bottom line is we do have a date now, June 30th, for them to come. Public Works is confident regardless of what day they come, there's going to be a job for them to do, so not too concerned with that. The trail, you may have noticed a couple of spots. We've been trying to be, whenever we hear there's some issue, we try to block it off or fix it if we can. There's sometimes jurisdiction things, who actually owns it, who's responsible for it, that we may need to sort out if it becomes a bigger thing. But you may see some barriers on the trail from different holes and issues that we've seen. And starting to put together a potential long-term plan. Again, the agreement comes from 1995. So yeah, as far as what we could do to fix that whole trail nicely. Nuisance letters went out. You'll hear this potential special meeting on June 23rd at 4. The reason we had to pick the date and the time is for the nuisance letters, so I'm hoping that you guys will call for a special meeting on June 23rd at 4 o'clock with the hope that we can address, I think we're up to double digits now on nuisances that are pending. So the idea would be to knock all of those out. There's some reminders, there's some links again, the short-term rental stuff, the consumer confidence report, any ideas you have or the public has, and then the signing up. These are still trickling in. I think I got another one this last week, so people are still signing up. It's just kind of slowly getting put together. And then regarding the projects real quick, the water meter is nearly done, that whole project. There's like 2 left, and then there's like 5 or 6 that have to be switched because they couldn't be programmed from AMI to AMR, which is the reading thing. We're hoping that by the end of June, everything is completely done and we can say this project is complete. The only reason I can't say for sure is that it's scheduling and it's, is our people service person there, and then people are only here for like a week, and then we got to get into their house to do their meter. It's a lot of coordination. But again, down to basically a half a dozen counting those replacement ones. PUC again is exploring options for the residents club. That area over there. The MS building, I don't really have any updates. Probably the biggest one on here is going to be the City Hall and Pavilion HVAC upgrades. You all can kind of look through that. This will be another item to potentially address at the June 23rd meeting. Unfortunately, bids came in much higher than we were hoping, but we're kind of exploring to see if we can either find funding to make up for the $300,000 gap, or just doing one of the 2 buildings and having the council award that, and then seeing what we can do with the remaining money. City Hall is the priority. I don't think it will turn on again and work if we needed to run the heat. So that has to be done. Yeah, I don't want it to be October. And then the West Annex, there's an item on the agenda tonight for the grants. If the council moves forward with that, then we'll get the IRRR and the LRC one and go after funding there. And then the housing, communication continues. There's going to be a lot of movement between now and the beginning of July. And I think a lot of people had in mind that July 1st we have to submit this application to the IRRR. That's just the soonest that we could submit it. It's a board review, so between July 1st and the time the board meeting meets is when that needs to be submitted. Obviously, you don't want to put it right before the board meeting. We'll have conversations with them. The IRRR feels out, you know, where they're at and everything and talks to everybody, so they're gonna know something's coming from us, you know, well, even before July. Well, they already know something's likely coming from us, so. But just wanted to point that out, and North Shore will help with that. They will review documents and stuff, pro formas, anything as needed. And they have been very busy with the short-term rental, the zoning ordinances. They're doing a land inventory. They actually physically came here, drove around, looked at all the houses, got the lists from us. So they're tackling multiple things. And then the age-friendly, I do not have an announcement on that, but there will be more to come before the end of the month. So let me just double check. The resolution numbers, oh, I was supposed to mention that first. So you'll notice that 10, 12, 11, it was, I don't know, the way I finished writing them. If the council passes all of them, then it's not a big deal, but if you only choose to pass one, then we'll have to do a renumbering and fix all that. But,
Boy, resolution renumbering is just a thing around here.
yeah. Well, it's like, as long as you pass all three, we're good.
Yeah.
It's 10, 11, 12.
We just got all that fixed before you started.
I know. That's why I'm specifically calling it out, so that's definitely on me. Once you put this agenda together and everything's all numbered and ordered, you don't want to change anything, and so I try to avoid it, so. Sorry about that. So resolution numbers, the special meeting, Benji covered.
I didn't catch that.
That is all that I have then for my updates.
Okay. Larry, got anything for us?
Nope.
Shannon? Okay. We'll move on to item 4, City Council review, questions on meeting agenda items. We will start with Councilor Berg.
The only thing I got to say is that we have a fire chief that's extremely talented and putting in a lot of effort on some of these grants and done a fantastic job. It's important, it's nothing. But tonight we're going to pay some $132 for a grant per hour. It'd be a grant writer. And I hope our fire chief isn't offended, you know, because I don't want to take advantage of our fire chief, but it just shows how important and how good he is. You know,
That is a good point. There's a lot to it, so. But, okay. We will move to Councilor Lehman. Councilor Nemi.
I just have a question on the grant writing service proposal. Does someone know her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, usually we ask for 2 proposals and not just one. And I was just wondering if her fee is in accordance with other the other grant writers. Because it seemed awfully high, 135.
Oh, I thought it was low.
I thought it was high, but.
A lot of your grant writing are over $200 an hour billable
I
now.
just questioned that, you know, about her, that's all. We always ask for 2 different proposals, and now we only got 1. Like we did the window washing with two
Right.
proposals.
Which
It's just a thought.
that's so low, I mean, that's even an administrative level. I was like, why are we spending time on that? But,
Okay,
on the
well,
window
that's
washing.
fine.
But, no, and that's a valid, but Miriam Carroll is the best around for what we're looking for, and that was just
Okay.
so.
You said you knew her?
Mhm. She's actually on the age-friendly committee over in Hibbing. So I've been to like in different meetings I've been at, like not in the grant writing capacity, but I know her from a lot of different meetings and things
Okay.
like that.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. She seems to really know her stuff.
Yeah, and I'll just mention with grant writing, it's tricky. Like a lot of these grants that we potentially go after are federal level grants. They are more complex, and I'm familiar with these. I've gotten a federal recreation trail grant. It's the time that it takes and the details involved. That's why I guess having somebody else come and help is the point of that, and likely we can get this funded through those other apps or other things. I don't think that, I mean, I'm fine, I write grants and all of that, but like how much of my time should be spent, writing grants and how much should be outsourced? It's a tricky balance of, I mean, these are hours and hours and hours of work generally to write all these grants and stuff. I don't know if there's a huge list of people out there that will do this either. In my experience, there's not a bunch of grant writers ready to, hey, you know, I'd love to work for you sort of thing. So just something to keep in mind as far as that goes. But
Yeah, well, you answered my question, so.
Okay.
She certainly wrote a thorough report.
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Her husband is also the one from Bar that's doing the engineering on it.
Oh, okay.
So-
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. If she has any
What-
questions, she could ask.
Well, when we were meeting with Pete, that was our first question, like, you know, like, if we look for a grant writer, is this something that Miriam does? And he's like, absolutely, I'll send her your, you know, contact info and everything, so.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay.
and I highly doubt we'll go after all 4 of these. It's probably gonna be maybe 2,
Right.
depending on what it is. So I don't think that total budget for her is gonna end up what we pay.
Oh, one more thing, and I brought it up, was the flower beds coming in the entrance and out of Biwabik. And Patty, I asked her what she remembered, because we all seem to have different memories. And she remembers specifically having like traffic rerouted so they go on the side of the road coming into town so that he would have a safe place to work. And I understand the confusion of the language in the contract. I get that, you know, it could be interpreted a couple different ways. But, you know, I actually thought he was supposed to do those entrances too. But I can understand his point where it's not safe. If the roads aren't blocked off, it's just too narrow. You're out there working and you're not thinking, and you step out of the curve and, you know, you can get hit.
All right. It's a very dangerous,
So if we can get signs where the traffic goes on, he agrees to it, where the traffic goes to the side of the road, you know. Maybe he wears a safety vest.
I think he does wear a vest.
he always
I
does.
saw him one day with it on, but if you make sure that he wears the vest, let's see what he says.
Yeah. I don't know. You two look so funny, all 3 together.
So that's all I have.
Okay, Counselor Waller.
Okay, yeah, first of all, I just wanted to call out something that I read in the Public Utilities Commission minutes. The second to the last paragraph, Commissioner Kavatovich discussed the building that the PUC owns, that Classic Woodworks has been operating out of for years. Steve Burdach pays the taxes and
Can we
the
please be, we're
utilities
trying to have a
there.
meeting here. I can't hear. I'm sorry. Can you?
Okay, Steve Burdach pays the taxes and the utilities there. He has also made electrical upgrades to the property. Commissioner Kavakovich was wondering what the state of the sale of the building is. Commissioner Kavakovich and Sherrick want to go on record that they want Steve Burdach to be able to own the building. For one thing, I don't like somebody putting that out there about owning the building. And another thing is, if it's city property, there's no taxes being paid on it. So that's kind of misleading also. And I don't know about the utility upgrades, you know, what they would be either. So I just kind of wanted to make the council aware of that statement, because I just kind of felt that it was inappropriate that they would say that they want Steve to own the building when it isn't even up for sale right now, that things have to be worked out. So I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but that's how I feel about that. And then it sounds like things are going really good at the campground, but I would like information about the lifeguard schedule, and if that they could be posted maybe somewhere.
Because they
and-
start when, like,
They already started.
they
It's
did
in
already?
May.
I thought it was
Yeah.
usually the second week of June.
Yeah,
No?
usually it's in,
Oh. Oh, okay.
yeah, so they've already started. Okay, and then as far as the P and Z goes, we reviewed and updated section 7 of the comp plan. There was a discussion of a policy being developed for the sale of city land. That's something that the council may want to review or start thinking about. If we're going to start having some development in our city with the EDA, should there be a policy of how we sell city land? So there was a little discussion on that. It wasn't brought up about the P and Z reviewing the parking ordinances. So Michael, we need to get that on the agenda for.
Yes, we do,
Yeah,
yes.
next month. And then there was a review and discussion of the short-term rental ordinance, the different options that are being presented by North Shore Development Company. And North Shore is supposed to meet with the P and Z next month.
Good.
And then, okay, and then I had a question from Michael, like who's mowing the school site? That's tax forfeited, that the county or state owns.
Yeah, I did not get a chance, and too bad Benji already left. I would have asked them there. We don't have an obligation to mow either of them, but from what I understand, last year we did. Did we do both of them, or?
We've been mowing for years.
Since they came down.
Yes.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I guess I don't have an answer for you, but tomorrow morning at our staff meeting, I will find out. And I
Okay.
can let the whole
Hopefully
council
it's
know.
privately owned before long.
Yeah,
To
and,
review.
and I know in Ely, when I talked to the city administrator in Ely, he said that they mow, well, they mow the site, but it says, you know, that it's like tax forfeited land and that they get paid for mowing it from the state or the county. And then if it's not, he makes sure there's a tax forfeited sign up so people know that it's not city land that's not being mowed. And then I was just wondering about the trail, the maintenance on the trail going out to the campground, because does it specifically say that we're in charge of keeping it like smooth? Because I thought the maintenance of the trail only meant that we would keep it like swept and keep it clear of snow. I didn't know that it meant that we have to take care of the asphalt also.
Yeah, the way it is worded is the city agrees to periodically inspect the Biwabik multi-use trail as reasonably necessary and to maintain the trail in good and proper condition, reasonably safe for users, including maintaining the trail's surface, signage, barricades, fencing, amenities, and all other trail facilities. And then Railroad Authority gets the right to look at it and give us advice. This is from 1995, and I don't see where the start and end is, so I'm not exactly sure what chunk of trail it is, if it goes all the way to the bridge, or if it's just to the campground, or where that might be. And obviously it's an older agreement, so it's not super clear, but good and proper, reasonably safe, trail
Yeah,
surface.
that
I
does
mean,
sound like it when it
yeah.
says trail surface, yeah. So,
Excuse me, but they were offering to stay with the truck.
mhm.
They're driving up this way.
Oh, so the trail maintenance people were?
No.
Okay,
Oh.
so they're aware
The
then.
truck was there with the lights on and it was right on the trail.
So,
They're well aware, the biggest area of
Yeah.
complaint in the entire Masabi Trail system is from
And it's
the
one
old
of-
Catholic church to the campground.
and it's one of the oldest probably too.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
It is actually, it's been there since before it was even the Masabi Trail, I believe.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you,
So-
that's all I
Yeah.
have.
Okay. The only thing I just wanted to touch base real quick on some of those points that, so we don't get into discussion before motions. You know, as we were talking about some of these grants, I know the fire department stuff, it's one of those, it's a 95-5 match. It's that same one we do, where we try for all the time, so that's just one of those. It's not, we're not committing to anything on that one. And also on item 11H, the residential redevelopment, that property that we're getting ready to apply for, I believe has a purchase agreement on it, and somebody's cleaning up, we're gonna buy and clean up one of our worst properties in town. So I was, just want to say I'm very happy to see that before we get into the regular meeting, so. Does anybody,
Which property are we buying?
it's on Railroad, one of the,
Oh,
okay.
I saw somebody moving some stuff out of there. the
there's
other
two
day.
spots that are getting cleaned up there right now.
Great,
So, one is being privately done, and the folks are gonna, once it's cleaned up there, it's a family transaction, and they're gonna build up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And then the other place that's really bad is just gonna get tore down and forgotten about, so. Yeah, that's just good news, and, you know, another one of those where it doesn't cost the city any money, but happily to help out people in their endeavors of cleaning up the town, so. And then the last thing I was gonna say is just as long as we're gonna be good on the 23rd for that special meeting. That was, oh, you won't be?
No, I'm trying to be.
I might not be either, my appointment might be longer than normal. It's iffy. Usually I can get out by, can be here by 4, but it's a question.
And we could do 5 o'clock. It was just suggested at 4, just to be,
The letters needed to have a time and a date for
oh,
them. That's where we had to pick the 4 o'clock, so I mean, we could change it up too. I mean, there's stuff we could do, but that's where
Right.
I came from, so.
What, just so.
you'll be here? Patty, you'll be here?
Yep.
Oh,
and
I'll be here.
just rush here to get here if I'm gonna be late.
We won't count you tardy.
No repercussions.
But yeah, as long as we've got 3 of us, I mean, it's, you know, obviously always nice to have 4 of us, but it was, or 5 of us rather, but
I'll make
no.
100% effort to be here.
Gotcha. And yeah, we can, because if there is that other special item and stuff like that, we can do that after the nuisances too. So, okay. Ty, did you have anything before we close this to go to the next?
I do not.
Excellent. So, all right, well, I will look for a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded to adjourn the agenda meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You good, Steve, back there? Everything? All right. I will call to order the regular council meeting, City of Biwabik, at 6 PM. Shannon, can we have a roll call, please?
Here.
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 Here. Please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We will move on to item 4, agenda approval.
So moved.
Support. Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda, item 5.
So moved.
Support.
Has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. we have no consent agendas pulled. We have no nuisance hearings. Item 8, there were no registered presentations. So we move to mayor and council member reports. We'll start with Councilor Waller today.
Okay, yeah, I just want to call out that working on the city flower beds, it started out as the age-friendly committee. We spearheaded working on the flower beds, and the first day we did it, I think there were 8 of us. And then the next day, you had put a notice out on Citizens of Biwabik, and we ended up like with 20 people. So we had people from, our age-friendly committee, we had BACA, we had Indivisible Iron Range people, we had somebody from Houghton, Michigan, and Duluth, and just all over. And a lot of the people that helped with the flower beds actually grew up in Biwabik, and they live outside of town now, but they came in and they helped us. And then it also helped that Biwabik Pizza gave us a free pizza lunch. So I don't know if that was a big incentive or, but it's just like heartwarming that the community came together like that. And then today we were able to finish up. There was a little bit of a mix-up with getting plants, so we canceled the group that was going to help work this morning, and then the plants came in, and we were able to pull people together and get them done. So that was really good. I mean, we just have such good volunteers here in Biwabik. And then we're working with the Public Works there to keep the plants watered. We're waiting for the mulch, what Benji said is in. And I guess that's it. I'm looking forward to the 4th of July.
Absolutely. Thank you. Councilor Nemi.
Yeah, just complimenting all the departments. It seems like there's a good atmosphere in Biwabik. Seems like people are more at ease and uplifted, if you will, use that term. We even got a compliment about our police department with our police chief about helping someone. By the time he talked to the neighbor, it could have been a while, but anyway, he got a compliment about stopping by and offering to help, with his wife, which I thought was nice. Public Works, I've heard good things about. So, I think, things are starting to pick up. I even occasionally hear good things about the council.
Pass those on.
Just did. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Lehman.
Just want to thank all the volunteers for the flowers and all the planting and the upkeep. Looks really good around town. Then thanks to Christopher, he's doing a great job also. And that's all I got.
Okay, Councilor Berg.
Other than our city administrator's report, I don't know if it goes just to us, Michael, but that is incredible what you do on that, and if there's a way to get it out to others. Because it is I have no issues because it's all answered in that report. And I really appreciate it. But so
I do send that out to everybody else.
Thank you. And that's all I have.
Awesome. I also, too, want to shout out what everybody said about our volunteer group here in town. It's just absolutely fantastic, the amount of work that goes into keeping this town looking great, and it's all on a volunteer basis. And again, Pizza Co. offering a free lunch was a great addition, and they said, well, if we can't take the time to help plant, we can at least take the time to help feed. And I thought that was kind of great. But yeah, everybody that's put a lot of time, money, and effort into that is very, very well appreciated. And also to Mr. Enquist as well, who goes above and beyond the contractual duties and from a volunteer basis too. It's very, very much appreciated. So I see that we are now paved and striped on Fifth Avenue. So we have angled parking. So we've kind of eliminated some of a parking problem over there by the pavilion. So that's fantastic. And then I want to let everybody know that we have some areas kind of like the weed beds down here in front of the parking lot and out in front of Honk the Moose. And then there's like the extended mulch that's nothing will ever grow because everybody walks through at the post office. Thanks to Senator Farnsworth, who helped get some funding for that, and we're going to be able to get some concrete in those areas so people like Pizza Co. aren't putting down AstroTurf to keep the people out of the mud. So we'll be able to replace some of that with concrete. I also did get a phone call from MnDOT, and they are going to be doing some surveying in a few of the crosswalks, like over by the Credit Union Classic Woodworks that's underwater every time it rains in those ADA spots. They got a surveyor coming out, I think this week or next, to look at what they can do to fix some of those, to make sure the catch basins are good. So that was another good thing. And then the long-awaited compost pile should be available and open to the public by the end of the week. I believe staff, tomorrow's staff meeting, office staff is going to work with our Public Works Department to get that finalized and get a policy out for people to be able to drop off some composting. So that was the other part of the good news. And with that, that is all I have, other than hope to see everybody on the 4th of July. So we will move on to item 10A, approval of window washing contract.
I would like to make a motion that we stay with CS window washing.
I'll support.
There has been a motion and a second to stay with CS window washing and approve the contract at $2,765. Is there any discussion?
I guess for me, one of the big things was that they will clean the downstairs lobby windows monthly.
That's same
Because
here.
there's nothing, like when you go into a business and you see the windows all fingerprinted up and, looking gross, that just is such a turn off. And people do comment on how nice it looks down there.
Is there any other discussion?
I know in Michael's comments, he would like to have had administrative staff to negotiate that. Does this contradict what you're asking, or are you okay with this?
No, I'm okay with this, and I guess it was kind of a learning curve for me looking at a contract this low. I think likely could have just been approved at an administrative level rather than having council.
So you're okay?
But yes, I
Okay, no other discussion, thank you.
Okay. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11A, new business. And let's see here, sorry.
So move, we approve Mary.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve Mary Stakovich to the vacant P and Z position. Is there any discussion? Other than thank you to Mary Stakovich for
Yes,
stepping up?
absolutely.
Again, somebody else who volunteers all over town all the time, so much appreciated. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to item 11B, approval of the city and fire department to apply for the Assistance to Firefighters AFG grant program.
That's wonderful, good luck. So moved.
Support.
Moved and seconded to approve the, apply for the AFG program. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11C, approval of Miriam Carroll Consulting Grant Writing Services proposal.
So moved.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the proposal from Miriam Carroll for grant writing. Is there any discussion?
But I think Michael said we probably won't be doing everything, so will that be coming back to us at each stage before, I mean, you had mentioned in your thing that capital expenditures, I would really like to keep capital expenditures as capital expenditures, not use that funding.
Yes, and I don't think this will be an expense until 2027, so we can
Okay.
budget it for it if we need it. And looking at the grants, yeah, you'd likely not pursue all four of these. And I think we'll have some conversations in the next few months. to
Okay.
figure out what's the best ones to go after.
That's all, thank you.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11D, Resolution 2026-10, or 010, sorry, accepting a donation from Caring for the Kids community.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution. Is there any discussion? I just want to say thank you very, very much for anybody that saw my social media post that, this money does come from charitable gambling, and it does, Luke's Tavern does participate with Caring for the Kids. And so this money doesn't just come from that, it comes from everywhere in their sites, but it's a much appreciated donation. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Shannon.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion's passed, resolution is adopted. And the resolution 2026-012, amending the EDA composition and funding.
Make the motion.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2026-012. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon, can we have a roll call, please?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion is approved. Resolution 2026-12 is adopted. Item 11F, approval of election judge rate.
So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the election judge rate. Is there any discussion?
Do we have enough judges?
We were hoping to
Not
be
yet.
able to hire the judges and set the rates, but we do need to allow a little bit more time to
Okay.
get some more judges in, so.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So please spread the word. It's on the website. Anyone wants to be an election judge, please get in touch with us.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Not hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11G, approval of a monthly brush pickup for residents.
So moved.
Support, but I would like to add that Benji mentioned the first of the week, the first day.
Oh, first Monday of the month, yeah. There is a motion and second to approve the citywide brush pickup. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11H, Resolution 2026-011, IRRR resolution for residential redevelopment.
So moved. So moved.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the resolution 2026-011. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon, can we have a roll call, please?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion is approved. Resolution 2026-011 is adopted. Item 12, external communications. We have the RAM Summer Member Flyer. That will be, I guess I'm not sure who's doing the barbecue, but he'll be at the Northeast Service Co-op. I'd be happy to see everybody there. And then item 12B is also tomorrow night here, the Arrowhead Coalition of Trails. It's kind of the first meeting of this type, and we're kind of kicking it off right here. So if you're available, please come on down. And moving on to open public forum. If anybody has anything. Come on up to the, you want to make sure it's on there, Michael?
I'm like a broken record. Started out last fall, the council had voted a lot next to me that Ty and whoever was supposed to come and clean that place up. Nothing happened. I come and I said, geez, it's last week of April or whatever it was. I says, I sure don't want to get into this to where it's going to be maybe July again before anything can be done. No. So I thought Ty was going to do it again. Well, now we're in June, and it's going to be July again. I don't get it. I know you guys, I talk with Michael. I understand that you guys are going to have a meeting for Blight sometime, 23rd, 26th?
23rd.
23rd?
Yep, at 4 o'clock.
Is the public invited?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Well,
I'll come to it. I want to see. Like I said, you want it written up, I'll write them up. You give me 10 of them, I'll write them up. Something got to be done.
That property is scheduled for the 23rd, so that letter was served to us, so that's one of the 10 problems. So it's 10 or 11 problems.
perfect. Yeah, the more we can,
And it's a frequent flyer, that's the issue with the frequent flyers, going tax work.
Oh,
on taxes, so, if we're putting stuff in on the taxes, they don't care. There's nowhere.
right.
Tax form records, so. But yeah, we cleaned it up, and how many times we've got to clean it up, twice a year, spring and fall. Yep, and it's back, the backyard back, again, that Dodge pickup truck too, so.
I mean,
But that's-
somebody cut grass in the back now. They sure didn't cut it in the front. There's some dandelions or.
Yes, and the idea for the 23rd is that, one of the goals that we want to do is, obviously, have a complete before 4th of July. One of the other issues that we have, when it comes to the blight stuff, because we put it back in the community to make complaints, the long grass. And the long grass pops up within 2 or 3 weeks, and right now, the grass is out of control. And we've got probably half of the properties that we have issues with grass. And we want to get those properties cleaned up also, to try and just get it cleaned up before we fly. Goals, we actually will speak to, like, hey, please, mow your lawn, or else we're actually doing it. And goals do it pretty good lawn. But your property has been, since I've been here in 2009, it's been a problem. And we're doing search warrants between both your properties on each side. They were last week there, so. For other bigger issues. For all possession of guns and stuff, so. But you were in a bad spot, and unfortunately, I took it myself. We've arrested your neighbor, I think we just looked, we arrested your neighbor 37 times.
Jesus.
So, we going to put him in jail for so much, and they don't next day, so.
That's more time than he is old.
Yeah, well, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I did add it up, with him, we spent over 74 hours in jail. So, all since 2000. He's a frequent flyer.
The courts aren't on our side. That's the way it-
But yeah, that was one of the properties, there's a couple more of the problem, some might not, but the first, the contract, some of the properties. And the people who clean up the properties, we don't feel comfortable, there's just something there, so we get calls, we gotta set up a day where we can do 2, 3 properties, we have control of them for time, sit there because they get records.
I guess my question is, you want me to write it up or?
It's already written up, it's already.
Yeah. They're, like I said, they're on the agenda for the 23rd.
So can I ask Ty a question?
Absolutely.
You the one that's in the elder too.
No.
That's another. So Ty, as far as the long grass, so are the officers like riding around, and if somebody has long grass, are they contacting the people, or does there have to be a complaint written up?
No, so with the grass, we're just trying to because by the time we do the letters, we assign the next council meeting will be in July. So with that, we're just trying to get it taken care of. And most people do that.
Good.
So, but yeah, that, and just one other note, one of the properties that we discussed, the one on First Avenue, the city engineer will be taking a look to see, because where the post is located, it was straight down, it was not underneath. So I'm gonna see if there's any way to tell people are planning. So, but the rest of your county last year on, there's a pre-trial meeting next week. So it's been a year since we made that.
That's your court system.
Well, and now, like, when it rains, you can see, like, there's a puddle in the middle of the road there. So it's got to be compromised under. And then, plus it's getting, broken away so much. So the estimate that we got from, I think it was SEH, did the estimate originally, it's probably twice as much now as it was,
Section, so it's probably 11,000, 12,000 then.
at least, I would say, yeah. So, thank you.
And I filed the restitution behind it. But I don't see it.
Okay. Is there anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor Beyondich, councilors, administrator Michael. I'm here to just give you all an update, even though Patty has, on the gardens in Biwabik. The gardens in the park are completed. The one by the church will be dug up and divided next year in the spring. I'm talking the church, the white church.
Oh.
Okay, it is so overgrown that it ended up, had already come up so high that it was not feasible for the volunteers to dig it up. But the one right here by Super One was dug up, dug down, everything divided, replanted, and new soil added. And as of today, plants were planted, flowers were planted in it. The 13 planters on Main Street are planted. The West End sign is planted, and it looks fantastic. Window boxes by the post office on the fence are planted. The pizza guys did their own window boxes, so we did not have to do them this year. Public Works, 24 containers on their window boxes were planted. The cemetery has been planted. The campgrounds and sign have plants and will be planted in the next few days by Joan Evans. A total of over 156 volunteer hours were put in. Some by a mother and a daughter from Duluth, who were a pleasure to work with, and the mother who was from Michigan, whose children live here in Biwabik. The project all plants were donated or bartered for, so there was not a cost to the city. I want to shout out to Burns's Greenhouse on number 7. I don't know if you know where that is, but they did donate a lot of plants. We actually bartered some of the tall grasses with them for plants. And there is another business that donated plants, wants to stay anonymous, and so I cannot tell you their name. But they are also, both places are willing to work with us again next year, especially when we divide the gardens by the church. They are very interested in receiving some of our overgrown perennials. We have one perennial, that lady's mantle, that people can't hardly even get anymore, and I'm not kidding you, it is so monstrous. It would be like 100 plants just by being divided. This project could not have been completed without the volunteers. If you looked at the number of hours that were spent, that's almost 3 weeks of a full-time person's salary. But I want to send a special shout out to Councillor Wallert. Without her leadership, her coordination, and her pride in Biwabik, this project would not have happened. And I just feel as if I want to say thank you for your leadership and going forward with everything.
My pleasure.
We will not be replacing the 5 hanging baskets around City Hall because last year we lost them twice because I know we had a problem with watering, but with the heat, and I know we have a lot of changes this year, but at this point we are just not willing to put those plants back up. And so if the city wants to have them, it will be up to the city to do, or BACA. These are a few things that I am aware of and I know that still need to be addressed. The mulch, Christopher let me know that the mulch is in. He started to put it down by First Avenue. Watering. Right at the moment, we don't have a watering schedule for, other than I know Benji, I'm supposed to coordinate with Benji, and I know he will do it. Thank God, shout out to Benji. But I've also talked with a few businesses. Carlson's is willing to water their planter in front of their place. Aaron, at the post office can do it, but if he's busy, he can't do it. So some of the businesses are willing to pick up and help out. We just have to address it and ask them. And we still have a lot of tall grasses. I'm sorry I can't give you the correct name of those grasses that are causing sight lines for safety. Some of them we are not able to remove until we coordinate with Public Works because they are in the medium and it causes a safety issue. But they do need to be removed because they are causing sightline problems. We will be removing the 3 bushes off of First Avenue because last year they got plowed up by the snow plows. We're going to be removing a few more of the tall grasses and putting those bushes in between the grasses to make it even and more aesthetically pleasing. And we have a list of, we have 3 trees that have died that may need to be replaced. But I just heard that concrete is going to be being placed in one of the areas. So I'm hoping that in front of the post office where that one tree is, it can be dug up and moved to over by the apartments.
I think they were gonna leave the one block in front of the, like, the
Oh,
one with the
one
tree.
block? Oh,
And
where
then
the tree
where
is.
it's all just that mulch where all those ground cover plants had died because of obviously the traffic there, that's gonna be concrete, but it'll leave one with the tree, I
Okay,
believe.
okay.
I'll have to look
that's-
back at the engineers. you know,
Okay, so
but I-
then,
I think that one was one of the ones that's kind of divided there.
yes. So there is one tree that is dead then, that we will, I am hoping that the city will think of putting the money forward to replace the tree and not plant a yew. A yew is not an appropriate tree for our town or this area. It is very willowy, bends easy, and that's why it's dead. It's snapped off. And something more, appropriate or to coordinate with what the other plants and trees are. And do any of you have any questions for me or our volunteers that have been working on this project?
No, just a big thank you.
Yeah, that was very thorough, so yeah, there's,
The street looks nice, the planters,
Okay.
so thank
Well-
you.
That's a little difference between you and the dandelion.
Okay. A yew is a tree that is, first off, it uses a lot of water. It is very willowy. The leaves are kind of, if you get them to grow big, the leaves are very aesthetically pleasing. They're contrast in color and texture. But you can see down by the, what do I want to say? The apartments, there are 2 other trees that are still staked up that we staked last year. We put support around the base so that they will live because they were bent over also. And so far, they are surviving. But I would just suggest that they not be, don't use a yew. And we are very lucky because we do have a master gardener on our volunteer group. And even though she'll say, I'm not a master gardener anymore, that's what we need in the town, is somebody who tells us what is appropriate to plant.
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, much appreciated.
John, that dandelion is yellow.
For a while.
Really long in the spring.
Yeah, I just have one question. It's kind of an ongoing thing. I just wanted to know what the status is between the city or state and the property, the old senior center. That all that stuff nothing's going on. I understand there have been discussions with them. I think it was a state and owner problem, and then the city got involved, supposedly. Where do we stand?
Remember last year we had discussed it and they had said that it was in the fall and that they would work on it in the spring.
Yeah, I will, I can reach out to them and kind of see where we're at and see if we can't get something done there, so.
Last year that was put up on a blight.
I don't know, see, the thing is, I don't know if that's, we kind of talked about it, there's just, piled dirt isn't really, it's not in our ordinance.
But there was
So-
building materials and long, unkept
Right, yeah.
trees not
So-
trimmed and things like that too, when it was discussed.
Apparently went into kind of an impasse situation because he was pissed off at the state.
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, we've done our part and so forth, and so, it's been an impasse now for a long time. There's gotta be a plan someplace in here. The owner is living there, so, he has a responsibility in some fashion here, and I don't know where, from the city's perspective, where we enter into the argument here. I heard that prior to Michael's coming, that there was some discussion with Jeff and the owner. Of, I mean, it looks like hell.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And what can the city do? We can get another blight. I mean, we can file
Right.
after blight and so forth, but what's the remedy? If he doesn't do anything, are we then obligated to go there and evade it ourselves based upon something that's a plan?
If it went through the blight process and it were deemed, if law enforcement deemed it as blight against the ordinance, then we could abate it.
Cleaning up the blight, we did that last year.
Yeah,
Not getting to the real problem.
right. So,
I'm sorry, I'm not getting that.
Not getting to the real problem. We can only deal with the blight, which is tall grass.
I agree with you. If we're not getting to the heart of it, which is the disagreement between,
right. So,
so who is going to make that overture to get to the root of the problem?
like I said,
How about it, Ross?
yeah, maybe we'll take the police department's approach and try diplomatically first and see if we can't come up with there was an impasse, it was last year, and then everything kind of got lost in the mix through the transition, and then, of course, winter happens, and then,
Well, good,
No.
as long as Ty is here, Ty can give us any input or any perspective on this.
Well, you're right, it was an impasse, there was the stuff that was considered blight, actually got cleaned up. But on the edge of that, the whole edge of it was a big issue that they're like putting pin down on. So, we can't think about it, I can't go there.
Yeah, no,
But yes, that was what was left that last year. So, because it's over the brick and the cut of the cement, that's where the big issue was, so.
So do we have any tracking correspondence and given the impasse right here? To see what kind of communication there was between the owner and MinDOT? There's got to be some exchange of emails, I would think.
he came to a council meeting.
Well,
And, yeah,
that's all oral.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all oral. I mean, do we have
Right.
actual physical emails going back?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the state has alleged and what this guy has alleged.
I mean, I can definitely look, I'm kind of starting already.
Yeah.
Nothing's popping up immediately, but yeah, I could run some searches and see. I have not stumbled across anything really.
No, it'd be 5 years ago.
Well,
I guess.
It was 20 I know. No. Yeah, well, like I said, we'd have to look at changing our ordinance is one of those,
But I do want to say when Deb Brown came and she rode down Main Street, she had a lot of suggestions. And Steve, Sherry, and I have to meet, and so we can kind of discuss those suggestions she had, and then maybe go from there.
So what are the suggestions?
Well, I don't have them with me, but I wrote down a lot.
Who's to get the-
Deb Brown is the person that came and did the summit, yeah.
And where does that distribution list go to?
Well, there wasn't, she didn't like make a list, she just like told us as we were riding. So Sherry and I took notes with, some of the suggestions.
See some of that over. People who want, if there are suggestions as to remediation, I think there are a lot of people would like to see what they have in mind.
Well, I guess people should have been informed, should have came then and been involved. That's one thing. It was open to the public, and we had, like the first night, I was the only one from Biwabik that went. I guess, I guess I have a lot of things on my plate, and I do like to communicate with citizens, but I can't be everybody's information gatherer and putting outer, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to be curt with you, but like
No,
right now, I
mean-
can't think
mean,
off the top of my head.
Is that, and I'm glad you were there as somebody
Yeah, well, when we get together,
Yeah.
Sherry, Steve, and I get together, and then we will, yeah, put the information, and Michael was at some of the meetings too, so, yeah. And then we can, because we want to make sure we're on the same wavelength, because people's perceptions are different. Yeah.
Okay, is there any more,
Yeah, I got one more. Brought me up attention talking about that. It's been at least 4 years since, or 3 years since this guy in the corner fixed that place, but he had JBM back that truck over the sidewalk, and he said he was gonna fix that. I'm just bringing it to the council's attention that that should be repaired. That's a bad spot.
that's on the radar for when we do the rest of the concrete repair, and he'll get billed for that part of it.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Okay, if there's nothing else, I will, it has been moved and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned, 18:37.